The Trump administration is planning to slash budgets for federal health programs. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Thursday, April 17th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Our first story today is a Post exclusive. A preliminary budget document obtained by our reporters shows the Trump administration's plans for deep cuts to federal health programs. They represent a roughly 1/3 decrease in discretionary spending by the Department of Health and Human Services. The 64-page document calls not only for cuts, but also for a major shuffling and restructuring of health agencies. These are the groups that oversee food and drug safety, manage the nation's response to infectious diseases, and drive biomedical research. The proposed cuts target some of the prevention-focused healthcare efforts, which Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has said he wants to prioritize. The cuts would also hit rural health programs hard, and they eliminate money for the Head Start program. That provides early childcare, health, and education programs for low-income families. Experts say the cuts would be catastrophic. In a lot of communities, Head Start is the only available early childhood provider. That's especially the case in rural America. El Salvador refused to allow a U.S. senator from Maryland to meet with a mistakenly deported man. That's number 2. Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen flew to El Salvador yesterday. It was an attempt to secure the release of Maryland resident Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was wrongly deported to a notorious prison there. His case has become a flashpoint in President Donald Trump's mass deportation campaign. The Trump administration has said it can't do anything to secure Abrego Garcia's release. Yesterday, Van Hollen said he met with U.S. Embassy officials as well as El Salvador's vice president. But he said his request to meet with Abrego Garcia was denied. He wasn't even allowed to speak with him on the phone. The senator spoke to reporters in El Salvador yesterday.
And I won't stop trying, and I can assure the president, the vice president, that I may be the first United States senator to visit El Salvador on this issue, but there will be more, and there will be more members of Congress coming.
Many Democrats have taken up Abrego Garcia's case. They've argued that the administration is risking a constitutional crisis by deporting him illegally and failing to follow court orders to work to bring him back. Number 3. The Trump administration asked the IRS to revoke Harvard's tax-exempt status. President Trump is feuding with Harvard University. His administration froze more than $2 billion in federal funding to the Ivy League institution after it refused to comply with its demands. Yesterday, the fight escalated further. Tax-exempt status is available to most educational organizations. It has allowed Harvard, like the vast majority of universities, churches, and charities, to avoid paying federal income tax. But these exemptions prohibit schools from engaging in certain kinds of political activity. Trump officials argue that Harvard is too left-wing, so they want the IRS to revoke the school's tax-exempt status. But there's no proof that Harvard has violated any of the guardrails they're expected to follow. Losing tax-exempt status would be another financial blow to the nation's wealthiest college. Number 4. An island-wide blackout has left Puerto Rico without power. All of the power plants in the U.S. territory shut down yesterday. Luma Energy is the private company that provides power to the island. It said yesterday that a system failure and vegetation on a transmission line caused an unexpected chain of events, and that led to a blackout for more than 1 million customers. Puerto Rico's governor said it would take up to 48 hours to restore power to the metropolitan region of the island. Other areas could take even longer. In 2017, the island's power grid was demolished by Hurricane Maria. The territory privatized its grid in the storm's aftermath. Major blackouts have been common ever since. Russia is seeding artificial intelligence chatbots with lies. That's our fifth story. Earlier this year, researchers asked 10 leading AI chatbots about topics that have been targeted by false Russian messaging. That includes the false claim that the United States was making bioweapons in Ukraine. They found that a third of the responses from AI chatbots repeated those lies. The Russian operation works by intentionally creating sites with fake data on key topics. A propaganda network has expanded and, by early this year, was churning out as many as 10,000 articles a day. That data then gets swept up and integrated into the large language models that train AI chatbots. And then people asking chatbots questions can get false, planted answers. That poses a problem which AI giants will have to tackle. The same tactic could be harnessed by many other actors, from politicians to private companies. Number 6. Post reporters tracked Florida's hurricane waste with air tags. Last fall, back-to-back hurricanes struck Florida's Gulf Coast. The destruction from Helene and Milton left piles of waste and debris lining the streets in some communities. That includes the city of Treasure Island near St. Petersburg. The 1.5 square mile island produced around 2 million kitchen trash bags worth of waste from the storms. And the Post wanted to know where it would end up. So back in October, it placed air tags on some of the trash, with the permission of the people who'd thrown it out. The tagged items included an office chair, a satellite TV receiver, and a motorized scooter. Some of it ended up in places where it wasn't supposed to go. Together, their journeys showed the scope and scale of the monumental effort to remove hurricane waste and debris. More and more people are moving to parts of the country which are increasingly vulnerable to hurricane disasters. So the complicated efforts to deal with the debris left behind are only expected to grow. And at number 7, scientists found a tantalizing clue about potential alien life. The planet K2-18b is 124 light-years away from Earth. Yesterday, a study made a pretty astonishing claim about the distant planet's atmosphere. According to the report, K2-18b shows signs of having molecules of dimethyl sulfide. On Earth, that molecule is produced only by the decay of marine phytoplankton and other microbes. It has no other known source. That's why scientists are excited. The molecules could be what scientists call a biosignature, a possible sign of alien life on K2-18b. The study doesn't claim to have found alien life itself. It acknowledges several uncertainties, like whether this molecule is actually on K2-18b and whether it can be produced without life on planets other than Earth. So the study's authors may have provided more questions than answers, but it's still a huge development in the search for alien life. All right, you're all caught up. But before you go, a reminder that if you're a subscriber to The Washington Post, you can get access to our shows ad-free in Apple Podcasts. All you have to do is find The Washington Post channel in Apple Podcasts and connect your Post subscription. Then stay tuned for more subscriber-only audio benefits, like exclusive and early access episodes. If you're not a subscriber, this is a great time to start. You can sign up at our channel in Apple Podcasts or through the link in our show notes. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.
I'm Sally Jenkins, and I'm a sports columnist and feature writer for The Washington Post. My job entails pulling the curtain on really big sports events at what is going on in locker rooms, what's going on in the stadium tunnel, most importantly, what's going on in the minds of the athletes that I cover. I think that We have an instinct that sports are really important in some primal way. We pay a lot of money for them. We build really big stadiums for them. And I think that athletics really gets us in touch with aspiration and teach something very, very important about accountability, about self-determination. And so my job is to really make those links explicit for readers and users. Subscriptions support this work and the people behind it. Find out more at subscribe.washingtonpost.com. I'm Sally Jenkins, and I'm one of the people behind The Post.